There's so many people that at the end of the month say, I have no idea where my money's gone. I have no idea what I spent it on. I just know that my bank account is either at a zero or it's negative. We have to change that. Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. In today's video that's a part of my finance series, I want to talk to you guys about how to save while you're still in debt. I know it may sound like it's just impossible to save or that you should choose paying off your debt over saving, but I'm telling you now that that does not have to be the case. You can save while still being in debt. And in this video, I'm going to show you exactly how you can do it. My first tip being that you need to make sure that you write down all of your debt. A lot of times there's a sense of shame that's associated with having debt, meaning that you shouldn't have debt or that it's something that you should hide from people or even hide from yourself, that you should ignore. And ignoring debt will not help you to pay it off. Ignoring anything, any situation, when it comes to something that's a part of your financial health will not help you to get in a better position with your finances. So embrace the debt, embrace where you are in your financial journey in order for you to pay off your debt and get in a better position. When you're considering how much debt that you have, you need to know exactly how much it is, down to the cent. And when you have debt that is related to any interest rate, then you need to make sure that you know the exact amount of interest that you have for any loans, any credit card balances that you may have, anything that you owe anyone. You need to know where your interest rate lies. Credit card interest is so much higher than typically an auto loan or a mortgage. And you need to understand that not all debt is created equal. Debt from credit card or consumer debt is so much worse than having a mortgage. A mortgage, you at least get to live in the home. You are spreading the debt out over a certain period of time, and typically it's going to be manageable. I am hoping that your mortgage is manageable. And then when it comes to any other debt like a car loan, same thing. You want to see if you can get the best interest rate possible so that your car loan is manageable. When considering buying a car or even buying a house, you want to make sure that whatever your loan is that it's manageable for your financial situation of where you are now. Not where you're trying to be in 5-10 years when you think you're going to get all these promotions and all of these raises. Like, that isn't guaranteed to happen. You need to make sure that you're understanding where your financial situation is right now. And having a high debt to income ratio is going to make it harder for you to have lower interest offers for loans in the future. Knowing how much debt you have also helps you to get in control of your finances. It doesn't seem like such an arbitrary thing just to know that you have a whole bunch of student loans or just to know that you have a high car note. It's helpful to know exactly how much you have left as far as your balance. You need to know how much the interest rate is, and you need to know how much your monthly payment that is required at a minimum. Now, whether or not you decide to pay more is up to you, but at least you need to know what the minimum is. That way you are at least keeping up with that when it comes to building your credit score. So my second tip when it comes to being able to save while in debt is that you need to at least have an emergency savings. Most Americans don't even have an emergency savings. Having an emergency savings helps you to feel financially secure. Security is one of those needs. If you're familiar with Maslow's hierarchy of needs, it's one of the top needs that you need is having security in order for you to not feel so much anxiety when it comes to your life. And having financial stability or financial security really helps you to feel like you're in control of your life. Because money isn't necessarily the number one thing when it comes to being happy in life, but it is something that helps you feel more secure so that you can embrace other things that are going on in your life, especially those happy things. Now, as far as an amount of an emergency savings that you should have, I would suggest at least 3 months of your expenses to have in your emergency savings. So just in case you lose your job or you have a family emergency and you need to have that money readily available, you are able to easily access it. Having an emergency savings needs to be in a savings account. Having it tied up in stocks or in some other type of fund like a bond or an ETF is harder for you to get your money out. And when you need your money for an emergency, you need it now. And having it in an emergency savings will help you to access that money faster. Now, if you're just starting out trying to figure out how you can even start to get an emergency savings, if you have nothing to start with, I would suggest automating your savings of at least $10. Now, $10 seems insignificant, but the point is really just to build the habit. And if you feel like $10 is easily achievable for you, then just up the ante and increase it to $50. Now, it may seem like $50 doesn't even put a dent into what it is that you're saving for, especially if you have an expense amount of $2,000 a month. $50 seems like it's so far away from $6,000 total if you're saving for those 3 months worth of expenses, but $50 is better than nothing. And that is pretty much where you are right now. So getting in the habit of saving at least $50 a month helps to move the needle for you to get there. Now, once you've saved for at least an emergency savings, you have a little bit of flexibility to experiment with other ways that you can save even more. And just in case you are not sure if you will spend too much or not, and having a buffer of at least $100 in a savings account that's linked to a checking account will really help you to not overdraft your account. This checking account buffer, it will be key as you're trying to figure out the amount that you can put into your emergency savings or just your savings account in general. Now, having this checking account buffer will help you to figure out how much you can put into your emergency savings and still being able to pay all of your bills. And if you end up not needing this money at all, it's great. But the key is that you don't touch it at all. $100 is typically able to cover any sort of subscription service or any bill payment that I may have forgotten about or may not be aware when the exact date is coming out of my account. So I like to use this savings account to just help me out just in case I need it. But if I never need it, then the money just sits there and it builds interest at the same time. Now, if you're the type of person that has been able to save an emergency savings account, but you still feel like you aren't able to save any additional money, then I would definitely suggest saving smaller amounts and paying yourself first. This means that before you pay any sort of bills, before you pay for anything related to shopping or extravagant things that you know you don't need, but you want them, then paying yourself first in the form of a savings or an investment account isn't about the amount itself, but it's about building the habit. For me, I was not a type of person who thought about saving first. I thought about paying all my bills, going out with my friends, and then whatever was left over from that, that's what went into my savings account. But shifting my mindset to think about my savings as my future and what it is that I can do with that money, not for the short-term gains, but the long-term gains, has really allowed me to feel freedom when it comes to my money and being able to do the things that I want to do, like going on trips or paying for education that I need when it comes to courses that I want to take. I have that money readily available and don't have to dip into money that I don't want to touch because I've saved in different categories so that I can access that money when I need to get what I want. And as you pay off more and more of your debt, I would really encourage you to increase the amount that you put in your savings. So instead of you saying that once I pay off this debt, I can go spend it on a trip. Well, how about once you pay off your debt, you contribute more to your savings account and then you contribute to whatever trip fund that you may have. It's really taking that extra step to think about your future versus your short-term ones. So my next tip for you when it comes to saving while still being in debt is to be intentional with your money. This is truly a mindset shift. Being intentional with your money means that you're serious about your money. You work hard for your money. So why not have your money to work hard for you? Giving your money a job, whether that's paying your rent, your mortgage, your electric, your subscription services, giving your money a job no longer makes it seem arbitrary for what happens to it. There's so many people that at the end of the month say, I have no idea where my money's gone. I have no idea what I spent it on. I just know that my bank account is either at a zero or it's negative. We have to change that. You have to be intentional with how it is that you're spending your money. Not saying that you have to be tight-fisted, because tight fists don't receive either. It's really that you are spending the time to understand where it is that you really want your money to go and then going to do that. So my next tip for you as you are learning how to save when you are still in debt is to look for inspiration. Watching videos like this and looking for other videos and books and articles that will help you to feel inspired while you are still on this journey will really help you to keep going. I know for myself, my financial journey is still going on, and it has been a long road, at least 5 years. And that's with me deciding while I was still heavily in debt that I was going to make a change with my finances and really make a change in my mindset regarding money. And that has just made me feel so much freedom, and I truly want you to have that too. And if you're looking for a book that you can read or listen to now that is an easy read, I definitely suggest The Broke Millennial by Erin Lowry. That book has made me completely change my mindset with money and no longer made me feel ashamed of any debt that I had or currently have, and has helped me to change my mindset of how I view money, but how I view my control of my finances as well. I'll be sure to leave a link to the book in the description. And if you like this type of content, don't forget to catch the other videos in my finance series. And don't forget to like this video as well as leave a comment and subscribe to the channel. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in the next video. Bye guys.